Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off the late pick 4 at the Great Race Place on Saturday with race number 7, the Grade 2 Buena Vista Stakes. You can play that pick 4 at DRF Bets. You can do it with your $200 free bet. No deposit required. DRF.com/join is where you need to go. Please use the promo code FREEBET09. Now let's take a look at the field of evenly matched fillies and mares going 1 mile on the turf. Madam Stripes, the number 4, is your 3-to-1 morning line favorite. She beat a couple of these horses last time out in the Grade 3 megahertz. But I know I sound like a broken record. I've been saying it for the last 2 or 3 years. It seems like the filly and mare turf division in Southern California, they all beat each other. It comes down to trip.
Yeah, I think that's 100% right. And listen, Madam Stripe's got a good one in the megahertz, but it's not like Insta Irma and Thundering Sky got bad ones. They got good ones. I don't love that race, and I don't necessarily want any of the 1, 2, 3 finishers out of it. But I guess if I was going to take anyone, I would take Madam Stripes. I mean, it just felt to me like she ran the best race in there.
I think some might argue that the one Insta Irma moved a little bit early under Corey Nakatani and truly tried to get into the race, and she made the front, and Madam Stripes was able to sort of kick her down in the lane. A good trip is coming again for Insta Irma. I think she's really improved for Richard Bolitas. I would not completely count her out. I picked her second in this race. You are a little bit more bearish.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a fan of hers I am, and I don't disagree. I think maybe Bolitas has improved her. Did she move too soon last time? I don't know. I guess maybe you could make that argument, but I just don't really think that any one of those 3 horses did anything that special in the megahertz. We'll see what happens. The other thing about Insta Irma for me is, I guess maybe it's because I can't shake how I felt about her in New York, but I always felt like even, when Mott had her, she wanted to go shorter. I know this is only a mile, but I really liked her in those sort of 1-turn, 7 furlong races they run at Belmont Park. I think that's her best distance.
Now, Thundering Sky's best distance is a mile. She was on the pace in the megahertz. She was hounded somewhat through evenly paced fractions, and she finished 3rd. Now, she is capable from off the pace, and she's probably going to get that kind of trip, as we see from the Timeform U.S. pace projector. Sassy Little Lila is a very fast horse. Thundering Sky might sit a good trip sitting in 3rd. I don't know. I've never really been blown away with Thundering Sky. I kind of feel the same way about Thundering Sky as you do about Insta Irma.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with her. I think, if nothing else, though, you're right about the trip she's going to get in this race. I don't think they're going to try and put her on the lead this time. I think they'll take her off of it, and they'll probably have no choice but to do that. And I think that will actually really benefit her, because I think she's better off in that kind of a trip.
Madame Dancelot might end up the favorite in this race. I know she's taking on older fillies and mares for the first time, but she was flying home last time out in the American Oaks. It was a race where there was not really a lot of pace. The winner, Daddy's Little Darlings, had a perfect pocket trip. Madame Dancelot was rolling from the back of the pack. I know that race was a 1.25 miles. Call me crazy. I like her better at this distance.
I agree with that. I think there's a better chance she catches a real pace in a race like this, and I think that obviously really helps her. I'm a big fan of hers, and I think she is going to come running at the end of this race. We'll just see, how tight she is first off the layoff here.
There are a couple of horses in this race either coming off long layoffs or trying things out for new barns. Sassy Little Lila, the Keeneland grad, 4-to-1 on the morning line for Flavian Pratt, is coming off of a layoff. The Goldacova, she had to work hard from an outside post to gain position. She never got her preferred spot on the lead, and she backed up very badly. She's now with Richard Mandella. She ran some good races last year, but I don't know, the Just a Game for me, I thought it was a disappointing loss. Then the 4-Star Dave was just a kind of a silly spot. And then the Noble Damsel, she cut off limits, a really good horse. I don't know where she is right now. I know she's going to be on the lead in this race.
I agree with all that stuff. I think, you're going to see her on the front in this race, and that's where she wants to be, and she's a really dangerous horse when she's good. If she's on the lead and she comes up and she shows up with her best race, she won't be easy to run down. But I'm with you. The Just a Game to me was sort of a turning point in her season last year, because I didn't think she ran well in that race. I didn't think anybody ran that great in that race, but I didn't think she did. The 4-Star Dave was a ridiculous spot that she couldn't win. I know Off Limits was really good at that time and got really good, but that was not a good performance from Sassy Little Lila. She had the lead conceded to her in that race. She took no pressure, and she never looked like she was going to win, and she was bad last time. I can't take her in this race.
Another trainer change for Price to Perfection, first with Chad Brown, then with Graham Motion, now with James Cassidy. No match for On Leave last time out in the All Along, where she finished just behind Juno, the number 9, who we'll get to in a bit. Price to Perfection is a horse she's run 13 times. She's solid. She has never byred 90.
She is what she is. They've tried some pretty tough spots with her. I don't think she's ever really matched up to that kind of competition. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of hers. We'll see if James Cassidy can improve her a little bit.
Juno is 5 for 5 in Brazil. She is 0 for 10 in North America. She tried to make the lead last time out in the Athenia against Off Limits. That was a good field. Off Limits, of course, came back to complete 4 in a row, winning the Matriarch with a 101. Runner-up, My Impression, came out of that race third in the Forever Together at Acura with a 96 buyer. At the very least, you should provide some pace for her uncoupled stablemate, Madam Stripes.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing, that seems like it's her best running style, is to get out there on the lead and see how far she can take them. The problem she has in this race is Sassy Little Lila's in here, and I don't know if she can make the lead over Sassy Little Lila, and that really works against this horse.
Sweet Charity is solid, stepping up again. She was third in the Santa Ana in March. She came back, was beaten in a race where I wonder if something went physically wrong, because she was gone from April all the way to January. She came from out of it last time out, and one of the horses she beat came back to be graded stakes place with an 89 buyer.
I like the run that she put in last time to get up in that race. I think that was a really nice performance for this horse, and she could easily improve second time now off the layoff. She ran some pretty good races last year as a 4-year-old.
It's just that if you want a deep closer, don't you want Madame Dancelot, sort of the proven commodity?
I think you do. I mean, I certainly do.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 3 Buena Vista Stakes. One of the new faces again, and we've not only said that these horses in Southern California beat each other up, but it seems like whenever someone comes from the East Coast or the Midwest, they're automatically major contenders. The 7 Fault ran some sneaky good races, maybe not fast races, but sneaky good races last year for Michelle Lavelle, now with Phil D'Amato. Last time out 4th in the Pago Hop, that race didn't work out.
Yeah, it really didn't work out for her well at all in that race. I would give her a pass for that one, and I really liked the job Michelle Lavelle did with her last year. She got this horse good. She acquitted herself pretty well in some graded stakes company as a 3-year-old, and I think she could take the step forward she needs to take in this race. She's going to get a good trip in this race because you can just kind of put her anywhere you want in a race. Phil D'Amato, he has great numbers off trainer changes and turf routes, 26% over the last 5 years, 251 ROI, a couple of graded stakes wins in that sample. I think he can improve this horse enough to make her a player in here. I'm going to take a shot.
7 Fault is Mike's top selection in this race. 7, 6, 4, and 2. I think Madam Stripes is going to run her usual honest race. She's going to need a trip to win. I think the pace will be fair. I think the trip could be okay. Whether she's going to win this race, kind of throw it up in the air. This is a spread race for me, kicking off the late pick 4. I am going to use a little bit of Insta-Erm. I think a good trip is coming down towards the inside in here. I'm going 4, 1, 5, and 2. I would also use Madame Dancelot in
I want to use her somewhere.
4s. Really fun race at Santa Anita on Saturday. You can play it via DRF Bets. A $200 free bet, no deposit required, is waiting for you at drf.com/join. Please use the promo code FREEBET09. Approximate post time for the feature, the Buena Vista, 3 o'clock Pacific. Good luck.